First of all, sorry if you hear the AC. I'm in my car right now and it's really hot. And yeah, I need the AC so I don't melt in here. So sorry if you hear it, but I'll try to be as loud as possible. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna be talking about why I quit my real job. Before I start off, I want to talk a little bit about my job experience and what I've done and how I ended up working where I work now. So my very first job was when I was 16 and it was at Chipotle. So as soon as I turned 16, I just really wanted a job. So my parents have never been the type of parents to force me to get a job or make me get a job as soon as I could. So me getting a job was just something I personally wanted to do. God knows why I did that voluntarily to myself, but I did. So yeah, I worked at Chipotle for a few months. I realized that I hated it. It was really bad and the food industry is not for me. So then I moved on and I really wanted to work a Hollister. And to work a Hollister, you have to be 17 as opposed to 16. So I waited for my 17th birthday. I applied right away and I started working at Hollister within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So my time at Hollister was pretty short just because the location that I was working at was being closed for remodeling. So after Hollister, I applied to Old Navy because I realized that I really liked working in retail as opposed to, you know, working with food. So I worked at Old Navy and it was the longest job I've had. And it was also my most recent job. So the reason that I left Old Navy was because I was still in school at the time and I was also playing a sport, so my practice schedule, my work schedule were just conflicting and it wasn't working out. Old Navy was a really good job though. Like, it was really easy work. They were really flexible with everything I needed. So with that being said, I left the job just because it was my own decision. Like, I felt bad having to ask for them to switch my availability all the time and having to have people cover my shift and all that. I just felt like I wasn't being as dependent as I could have been, and I just didn't like bothering the management that much. So I just decided to leave it. So before I left it, I had found this job and I just wanted to test it out for a couple of weeks first, see if it was legit, see how it worked for me. So after I realized that this job was good, I then decided to make the decision to leave Old Navy. So the job that I'm talking about and the job that I'm currently working at is DoorDash. So I am a dasher for DoorDash, and for those of you who don't know what DoorDash is, it's basically an app just like Uber Eats or Postmates. So it sends me the location of the restaurant, I go pick it up for you, and then I just go drop it off to you at your house, your work, anywhere really. Like, the weirdest places I've gotten an order from that I've needed to drop it off to was to the hospital, to hotels, so really anywhere. So how it works is I get your order, I either accept or decline it, but usually you want to accept because you want money, duh. But I usually accept the orders. I drive over to the restaurant, I pick it up, and it's either prepaid or I need to pay. If I do need to pay, then I use this red card that comes with the job. And basically this red card works as a credit card, but how it works is it just automatically updates and activates as soon as you get the order, and it activates with the exact amount that's needed for that order. I can't just use this card and like go buy myself food whenever I feel like it. It only activates as soon as I accept an order, and it only activates with that certain amount. Most of the times the orders are already prepaid, so basically I just have to go in, grab the order, and leave. There's also a few times where I have to place the order in person. So for some restaurants that aren't, you know, working with DoorDash, sometimes I have to like go in and manually like place the order, say everything they want. But yeah, 90% of the times the order already prepaid and I just go in and pick it up and that's it. So along with the card, you also get this hot bag, heating bag. I don't really know what it's called, but you know, it's just to like keep the food warm or just to like make it easier to handle. So you get this bag with it, you get the card. In order to be a dasher, you have to have a driver's license, have a car, and be at least 18. So now I'm gonna be talking a little bit about how the payment works. So the pay really depends on the distance you are from the restaurant and the distance of drop-off. The farther you are from the locations, the more money you should be getting. On average, I typically get about $8 or $9 per order. The lowest I've gotten is $5 or $6, and that's just because the restaurant was literally less than 5 minutes away from me and everything was just really close by. Most I've gotten, and it's not unusual to get this order, like I've gotten them a couple of times on my dashes, is like $11 or $12. So this is what the earnings page looks like on the app. And as you can see, I started dashing back in March, and I made, for my very first week, I made about $199, so almost $200, so that's pretty good. And these are what the other ones look like. So these are in terms of week because the payment is weekly. There's also a way to cash out now and just get the payment instantly. That's usually the feature I use, and you just have to pay like $1 extra in order for you to get that service and just get it directly deposited into your bank account that same day instead of having to wait, you know, the full week. But yeah, so as you can see, it's like pretty good money. It's really fast. It really just depends, like I said, on you and how much you decide to work. So for example, the week of April 2nd, April 8th, I only made about $17 just because I remember I went for one day and did like 2 deliveries and that was it. Same as the $8 one, I only went that day once and just did 1 delivery, so I ended up just with like $8. But yeah, as you can see, I have a few that are pretty good, like $107, $66, $92, $125, $67, 84, 59, 65, 61, stuff like that. So the numbers are pretty good. Just honestly it varies and depending on you and how much you decide to dash. So yeah, now I'm just gonna talk a little bit about how often I do it. So I usually go about maybe twice or once a week, and on average I'm making $60 per that shift, and I'll usually do it only around like 3 to 4 hours. So just imagine me making an average $60 for one day and only 3 to 4 hours at most. And just imagine like if I took it seriously and actually went every day or every other day or just more than once or twice a week, like that's really good money for, you know, just driving around delivering orders. Might not seem like a lot, you know, you're thinking, oh, you get like $8 or $9 on average per order, or like maybe you'll get down to like the $5 and $6. But it's not even like $8 or $9 per hour. It's like $8 or $9 and you'll be getting like maybe 3 different orders in 1 hour. That right there is easily $24 just 1 hour. So yeah, it just really depends on how often you do it, which area you're doing it in, the time, if you're going the correct time and you're getting the most orders, and just things like that. But honestly, it's just really good money overall and super fast money. Also, 100% of the tips go to you. So say you're picking up an order and it's a $6 order. You go, you deliver it, and at the end you see that it tipped you $5. That's $11 right there in just that order. So it's really possible to just get a $5 order and then end up making like $10 off of it, off of tips. So yeah, 100% of the tips goes to you. So I really love doing DoorDash. Like I just love how in control I am of everything. Like I control my shift, so I can decide when I want to go, how long I want to stay, how many hours I want to work. So for example, if I pick up a shift and it's like 5 to 9 and I can't stay until 9 anymore, I can easily end my shift after an hour, 30 minutes, just literally whenever. You end your shift whenever you want. Also the other way around, if you decide that you want maybe a couple more hours, there is also an opportunity sometimes to go on the app and extend your shift, and if it's available to extend your shift, you can probably work until like 11. Most of the time there's not really shifts. You kind of just start dashing whenever you want and end whenever you want. But there's also opportunities to pick up like certain like timed shifts. Like I said, I really love how in control I get to be of my schedule. I can work whenever I feel like it, and I can end it when I don't. Yeah, so there's no more having to call off or not being able to go out certain days. Like sometimes I'm working and someone wants to hang out and they're like, oh, when are you free? I'm just like, whenever you want. So I can just literally end my dash whenever and just go about my day. Also, I love how in control I am of my money. So I get to decide how much money I want to make. So like I said, I'm only doing 1 to 2 days a week. But yeah, imagine if I did it like every day, how much money I'd be making. It's pretty good money, it's pretty easy money. So I'm just gonna give you guys a few little tips of what helps me get more money and more dashes and more orders. The days that are most popular to pick up orders are obviously Saturdays and Sundays, the weekends, especially Sundays. And the times that are the best to go at for Sunday, I would say, is probably super early, around like 12 or 1. But I usually start around like 4, 5, or 6, and that's kind of like the peak hour of when people are ordering food. So that's the time I usually start, and that's when I realize that I get the most orders. I've also gone a few times, maybe like during the weekdays, at like 3 or just like times in between. I've noticed that I've sat in my car like waiting for orders, not getting as many as I could. Kind of just developed a habit of going certain days and certain times that I know works the best for me, and I'm just constantly getting orders back to back, and that's really good because, you know, the faster you get orders, the more money you're making because you're completing them faster instead of having to wait around in your car for orders when days are slow like that. So yeah, definitely like test it out and see your area how it is, and just which times work the best for you guys. So you also get to choose the location of where you want to work. So this is just a broad overview of what the map looks like. I'm not going to show you guys exactly where I'm located on the map, so I'm just going to go around to random locations. So as you can see, the red spots means that there are more orders there, and the gray spots means that there's not as many orders. You get to choose the location that you want to dash at. You just pick it on the map, and there's different cities around you that you can dash at. Usually don't dash right where I am, like my location. I drive maybe a few minutes, like 15 or 20 minutes to a certain location. That works way better for me because I've noticed that anytime I try to dash here, I don't get as many orders and it's not as busy. So I'm just like kind of aware of where the most orders are coming from, so I decide to start my shifts always over there. Okay, so now I'm going to be taking you guys along with me and show you just a little overview of how it works and how my day is as a dasher, and just giving you guys more of an inside look as to how the job really works and all of that. So let's go. So like I said, I don't dash in my location, so right now I'm just driving to the location that I dash at. So I am now in my starting location, and basically once you get to the place that you want to dash at, the app obviously has to make sure that you're there, so it's kind of tracking you and making sure that you're where you say you are. And once you try to begin, this screen will pop up, and it's just making sure that you have everything that you'll need for the dash ready. So you just kind of click through it, and then you start the dash, and now you're checking in. So this down here, it's telling you what the hotspot is for the order. So basically, if you're in that location, you're more likely to get an order. Okay, I literally just got an order right now, so that's cool. Okay, so yeah, so fast forward, this is what it looks like once you get an order. So for this order, as you see, I have an order to Chipotle, and I'm guaranteed to make at least $8.83, if not more if I get the tips. So this is just guaranteeing me the least amount. So yeah, now we're gonna accept it. Luckily I got one on camera, so I'm gonna take you guys with me. So I have now arrived to the Chipotle where I'll be picking up the order, and this is what it looks like once I slide I have arrived. So for this order, as you see, I have no need to pay, so obviously that just means I go and pick it up. The name is below here of the customer, but I don't want to, you know, like show information I shouldn't. And I should be picking it up by 4:30. Obviously I'm a little late, but anyways, yeah, so I'm just gonna go in and get the order. Okay, so I just picked up the Chipotle order, and I am now heading over to the customer's house to drop it off. I just delivered the order, and now I'm going to slide over here for arrival. I'm going to cover the address just to not invade their privacy. So now it tells me what my earnings were, and it asked me how the delivery went. So it went smoothly, and it just asked me like what was so good about it, but usually I just kind of just submit. Yeah, and now we kind of just wait to get another order. Okay, so after the last order that I just recorded, I decided to come to a different hotspot. So I'm now at a hotspot, and like I said, what that means is this is the area where most of the orders are coming in from. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait for another order, and I'll show you guys once I get one. Okay, so I just got a new order right now, and it is a guaranteed $6.92, and I'm literally at this location right now because this is where the hotspot was. So as you can see, the Cheesecake Factory is literally just right across from me. So yeah, I'm basically just getting paid like $7 to like walk across there and then go drop it off somewhere close by. Okay, so just got the Cheesecake Factory order, and I am now on my way to drop it off to the customer. So now that I just completed that order, I am now going to go back to the hotspot and wait for another order. Oh, and I just got one right now. Literally right now. Okay, let's see. So the next order is to So it's 8:36 for Moby Dick, so I'm gonna just accept that. Alright, so just arrived to Moby Dick. It was like a little 3-minute drive. Okay, so just picked up the Moby Dick order and I am now heading to the customer's house, which is like 15 minutes away. Okay, so I just finished delivering my 3rd order and I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna go on my break now. Another thing that I really like about DoorDash is that you get to choose when you want to go on break. So I am just gonna click here. Let's see. So pause order. So this is basically like your break. And you have about 35 minutes of break. So I usually don't stay out the full 35 minutes just because it wastes too much time, and time is money, duh. So yeah, I'm just gonna be going real quick to eat, and then once I'm done, I'll resume again. And if you do take the full 35 minutes and you go over and you're not active as soon as the 35 minutes are over, then it just kind of ends your shift for you. So yeah, so I try not to go past 35 minutes or even close to 35 minutes. Okay, so I'm on my break now, and I don't know if you guys saw, but I made $24.11 so far with just 3 orders, and it's taken me a little bit over an hour to complete those 3 orders. So if you guys want to think about it this way, I made $24 in an hour. So that's pretty good compared to, like, you know, regular jobs where you're making like $8, $9, $10 an hour. So yeah, it took me a little bit over an hour, but I made $24. So I'm planning on dashing for about 3 more hours, probably 4 more hours. So yeah, so I'm on my break right now. I'm gonna go eat, so I think this is the perfect time for me to end my video right here. I took you guys along with me to complete 3 orders, so I hope that helped you guys get a better understanding as to how it works. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe below, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!